and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thank you so much for continuing to watch. We are going to close out the show with something very important. It is parenteducate.com. You've heard a million times that there's no book to parenting, right? Well, you can still get a little help here and there for those toddlers and those integral years in the beginning. And I'm here with Maria Taylor, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You know, I think everybody, recognizes that old adage that there's no book to doing this, right? There's no book to teaching morals. There's no book to teaching kids anything. But that's not necessarily the truth with Parent Educate. Tell me about this.
So parenteducate.com is brand new. It's an offshoot of Child Care Education Institute. So we are a company who does online training for those who actually teach in the child care field. And for 5 years, we've been talking about this concept, and my kids are grown now, but I take all the courses. And as I take one, I always thought, geez, I wish I had this when my kids were little, and it would have been so much more helpful than now. So we finally, bit the bullet this year and decided that we would do an offshoot. So we've been working on it through the COVID period and launched our new website. We took our content that educators learn from and reworked it a little for parents, shortened it. It doesn't have all the licensure and the questions and the tests and things like that. It's basically 15 to 20 minute little snippets on topics. You want to know about, you got a problem with biting. You need to know how to do positive discipline. Right now we've just put something out about, screen time, kids and screen time, which they're getting a lot of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's the goal. It's to try to find a place where you could go get information.
That's fantastic. And I mean, this is the perfect time for it, because I think that, parents are a little freaked out with the whole, a lot of the kids are still at home in their learning process. So that's one thing. But then there's a whole nother aspect to your toddlers and your babies, to teaching them, the morals and the values that you want them to have. And like you said, what types of things can I do to discipline in a healthy way, but that still reinforces the ideas that we want in this household? Those are big questions. And parents just kind of figured out, well, what did my mom do? Or what does, what was I raised on?
Even just learning about the science behind brain development, I found those to be the most helpful. And I mean, I read all the books when my kids were little, the what to expect when you're expecting, all that. Nobody talks about those things, about the child development. They talk about when they're going to walk and when they're going to talk and how you feed. They don't talk about how their brain functions and what is being developed in those critical birth to 3 years. And when you actually learn those things, it changes how you behave. It changes what you do with your child. And so I just think it's so important, and they're just, you don't see that in very many places.
And I love that it's, easy to work into their day, right? It's 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there. You can start one, and then if you need to finish it after dinner, that's okay too. You guys have really made it flexible and open for, fathers and moms.
It's total mobile based. I mean, you could pick up your phone while you're doing something else and take a course right on your phone. And again, I call them courses, but they're less courses and more informational. So you don't have to start and finish. You can click on it, get a few things, go back, like you said.
That's perfect. Okay, let's get all the details. So stress those age ranges for us, and then stress how people can go ahead and parenteducate.com, get themselves immersed in this program.
Yeah, I would say where our sweet spot is probably birth to pre-K, but we do have some content on there as far as how to work math into lessons and reading comprehension and some things like that. But early childhood, really probably birth to pre-K is the sweet spot. You can find things if you're a seasoned parent. You can find things if you're about to have a baby or a brand new parent. And you go to parenteducate.com. It's subscription based. It's very inexpensive. You can subscribe by the month, by the quarter, or by the year. And the longer your subscription, the more discount you get. So it starts out at $14.99 a month, and you can just do it month to month. And when you start to get into the quarterly, you start to get some significant discounts, and you buy an annual subscription, and it's only $60. So, and we're adding content every single day. So we launched it with 60 courses. I think we're already up to 80. At Child Care Education Institute, we have over 300 courses. So imagine when you do the math, you take 300 hour to 2 hour courses and you split them up, that ends up with several hundred. So our goal is to have 100 up by the end of the year, and then we'll just continue to add next year.
This is phenomenal, Maria. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing this with our parents. And I would like to say that if they'd like to test it out, you have a little free trial there, a little period that they could try
7
it
days.
out.
Yep, absolutely. 7-day free trial.
That's fantastic. I just hope that
we have a blog as well. So when you go to the parenteducate.com website, we're blogging about all the current topics.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for helping our parents to stay educated. They're feeling a little like, fish out of water right now in some way.
Yes, I get that. My neighbor has young ones, and I see her, and I've got cousins who have little ones. One of my cousins posted today a crack up thing about it's school at home, and she had ring pops out. And I'm like, you do what you got to do,
Absolutely. Well, parents are doing what they've got to do, and now they have a new resource. Thanks to you. We appreciate your time. Thanks very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, please take the opportunity to go to parenteducate.com, get all the information that you need. Follow the blog, see what you can find out about how this might help your parenting skill. And again, if you're a new parent, this might just be kind of the roadmap that you need, that you didn't even know that you needed. So please take the opportunity to go to the website, learn more. Thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of Focus Atlanta, and I hope to see you next week here on Atlanta's CW.